Thank you, Manoush. So here are some customers that are seeing significant benefits of building with Foundry because security and trust is baked in. Using Foundry, Heineken has implemented regular evaluations and personality checks to safeguard its chatbot from violating its business values. So let's hear from Accenture on how they're using Foundry.
At Accenture, we focus on AI and agent-led end-to-end business process transformations.
We knew responsible AI could help us improve the efficiency and security of our development processes.
With its leadership in responsible generative AI, Azure AI Foundry is a game changer for us.
We have seen a 30% increase in overall efficiency, 20% reduction in cost, and it reduced the time to build AI applications by 50%.
There is no Gen AI without responsible AI.
Okay, so we've seen our tools, we've seen our agent factory, and it's also protected with industry-leading trust and security. But we shouldn't be restricted to just deploying in the cloud. We don't want two different platforms, one for the cloud and a different one from the edge. That would be a real pain. So we're building Foundry so that we can extend it from the cloud all the way to the edge. Now this is really cool, so we should just jump right into the demo. Please welcome Seth.
How's it going? I'm so excited to be here. Everyone should know that all those demos are live. We're not faking any of this stuff.
They're all live.
Except for this one, I'm just kidding. So let's go ahead and let me show you Foundry models, but locally. Here's a number of models that are available to me directly inside. I'm just running the command because, you know, it's kind of cool. But the thing is that there's a bunch of models that you can download and use locally. And that's the thing, because when you're moving from cloud to edge and you want to have some of this benefit, you can have it directly on your actual machine. Which, can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear me. Thank you. I could have just spoken to this. Would that have been awkward?
Maybe.
Okay. So let me go ahead and just say, write me an outline for how LMs. I think you asked me to do that.
I did. It was homework.
Yeah, and so
I'm
going to get it done as soon as I can, and I'll get it to you in an email.
I can see you're working hard.
Well, yes, I'm typing it up right now. Notice that this is working locally, directly on my machine, and you can see that it's hitting my GPU.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is really, wait, I did the wrong GPU. It's this one, sorry. You're like, that's not the right one. That's the one. But the thing about this is that this is going to tie into something that you heard about yesterday, the Windows MCP registry. And now imagine what your operating system might be able to do for you later on.
Lots
but I'm just going to
of
tease
interesting ideas.
So that's my demo. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Can you hang out for a second? Just one more second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll do that. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Seth. That's really cool stuff. So now, you know, we have seen the AI-powered tools that we have. We've also talked about our agent factory. We're securing this whole thing with the industry-leading security and safety. Now, we've also seen how we can take it from the edge to the cloud as well. But we want to keep moving here. And we want to keep exploring the frontier of what we can do with our tools and our platform. So before we go, we want to share one more thing. We're teaming up with the MSR team to really explore what could be possible to build and to incorporate into our tools and our platform. Now, these are not new products. We don't have dates in terms of when we're shipping these things, so we have a lot to figure out still. But we want to give you a sense of what capabilities we're working on. So, Seth, let's show them what we got.
Let's do it, but we're going to make it awkward here. Okay, this is Project Amelie. And for those that don't know, we'll hang on. For those that don't know, I used to be a data scientist. I'm not just this beautifully coiffed beard. I used to be a data scientist. And what happened is there was a lot of work that we needed to do as data scientists when we did an AI thing, or a machine learning. That's what we called it, you know, before it was cool. So imagine you're asked to build a model like predict accommodation rental prices in Seattle. What you would have to do is you would have to give it, get some data, you'd have to analyze it a little bit. And so, again, I think here's some homework here that I was maybe supposed to do for you. We can upload the data set, and what you would do as a data scientist is you would look at every row of these data sets, you would try to figure out if the column was right, and sometimes someone,
maybe
it was probably one of you, would put a string dollar where there should have been a number. Do you know what I'm saying? Some of you would actually do this. Very frustrating. So notice here that it's already done some analysis, and what I can do is I can start to ask it things as if it were like a mini data scientist in a box. And notice that it's trying to look at this information, and it's doing some of this stuff. So it's still accessing this. This doesn't take, like, this is not a 5-minute demo. It takes like about an hour.
Right,
but for a data scientist, that's like a whole day and a half. Let me show you something that's already done. This thing is already done. You can see it goes through,
Oh, there's the error.
You want to know what error it was?
I do.
Oh, the dollar sign. Who did that? Okay, but notice that it was able to iterate and finally get to the actual models. It self-corrected itself, the actual code, and some metrics because it's using 2 different models, one for reasoning and one for generating code, so that you can actually use this actual code to get started as a data scientist. How cool is that?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, but there's more. There's more. There's an OpenAI benchmark that they put up. This RD agent, together with MSR, is actually at the top of the list.
leaderboard.
That's right. So thank you so much. This is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
This is awesome.
Hey, so do you think we have time for one more thing?
Well, I'm not dressed like the fun director at a cruise for
Sorry,
nothing, right? So let's do one more thing.
Okay.
Let's do one more thing. So it turns out that I went and read a paper this weekend on something called GraphRag, and Microsoft Research has done some amazing things with this. GraphRag is a situation where instead of just taking chunks of text and putting it into a vector and searching, it actually takes the chunks of text and uses LLMs to extract entities and relationships, and it makes a graph so that other LLMs can query it, and the SQL Server team actually did this with their code. So let's take a look at this thing. They weren't going to let me look at their code here in person. So here is an error log of something that actually happened to one of their engineers. Now, C++ is super scary to me, even to this day, because of pointers and such.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know. And so looking at this thing is kind of stressful. But now imagine being able to talk to this new data structure, figure out where the errors actually live, understand the actual code, and maybe even get to a fix.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and like, for example, whenever we get into a new organization like you are, you can literally talk to the knowledge of a senior engineer.
And how big is this graph?
This graph has about 14 million nodes and 24 million edges. So it really is
a big code base.
It is a big code base. And there you see, it's literally fixing the actual code of our actual production thing. That's why I brought the video. We're not going to give Seth access to code. So that's it. Isn't that great?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, should we do one more thing? What do you think, audience? I mean,
I love being on stage.
Okay.
So let's just do this. Do you all remember that?
do you want to? We should do something more fun.
More fun?
More fun. Yeah.
Okay. So do you remember this game? Let's play the video. Do you remember this game here? Let's play it. Oh, get it up here. Anyone remember this game? Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play it all the time myself.
Me too.
One of the things, though, you couldn't do something.
You couldn't do
and in fact,
a few things.
If we go to the code, they actually released the code, and there's like a love letter here to all of the programmers.
Do you guys remember this?
He said, you know, you could add some game features like weapons or jumping. So someone used the exact same GraphRag, indexed this code, and then made the coding agent. They said, hey, can you make it jump? And you can see, people tell me that all the time, and they can't even make me do it, right?
Right.
And so you can see that it actually created this capability for realsies. Like, I don't say for realsies on purpose on stage, but for realsies. You can see it actually did it. And now, if we can roll the second one, we're actually gonna see the dude.
Look at that.
Look at that.
The player's
Come on, how cool is
jumping.
that? So there you have it, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Seth.